Welcome back from the ad break. You're still watching Prime Live. Now, this evening, we are honored to welcome Professor Harris, who is an executive consultant at the Nelson Mandela Foundation, as we highlight Nelson Mandela Day, that is in 2025, taking place on Friday, the 18th, a day of global reflection on Madiba's vision for a just, equitable society. And we are grateful to actually have Professor here with us on Prime Live. Thank you so much for joining us, Professor, and welcome to Prime Live.
Thank you. Great pleasure.
Thank you so much. Now, the Mandela Day 2025 theme this year, it's still in our hands to combat poverty and inequality. Now, this is a very powerful reminder that the work towards social justice and equality continues even in Madiba's absence. Can you tell us more about the origins and significance of this year's theme?
Yeah, it takes us back to 2008 when Madiba turned 90 years old, and he was uncomfortable with the ways in which the world was celebrating his birthday. And together with us at the foundation, conceptualized the Mandela Day campaign, which was all about a messaging that rather than spend money, rather than have parties, rather than just celebrate, is rather do work. And so he gave us the mandate to use his hands as a symbol of the work that still needs to be done. And it reminded us of that speech he gave in London in 2008 when he said he was too old to keep contributing in ways that he had done throughout his life. And he said, it's now in your hands. So for this year's theme, we go back to that very first theme. It's in our hands. It's still in our hands to combat poverty and inequity.
New personal touch washing powder sheets dissolve quickly, leaving behind.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now, as we highlight this significant occasion, we are very curious to, what do you believe Nelson Mandela would say if he was here today, seeing the progress made and the challenges that still remain in our world?
I worked quite closely with him for a while, and I don't know what he would say, but I can tell you that he would be distressed. And yet at the same time reminding us that we should not give up and that we keep fighting for that world of his dreams.
And can you tell us more about what the Nelson Mandela Foundation is actually doing for Mandela Day?
Well, we're supporting the Mandela Day work of all our institutional partners. So we are going to be very stretched on the 18th with staff contributing to projects like packing food, parcels for disadvantaged communities at Wanderers Stadium. We'll be in Mpumalanga province together with our partner Ride for Hope, unveiling school facilities for a disadvantaged school. Our chief executive, the chair of our board of trustees, will be in New York. Dr. Naledi Pandor will be speaking to the General Assembly, so reaching a global audience with this message. And of course, some of us will be doing final preparations for the Nelson Mandela Day walk and run on Saturday.
That's beautiful. Now, can you please speak on the significance of this event in bringing people together from all walks of life to promote active living and social justice?
Well, I think one of the primary purposes of the campaign is to enable people who are privileged, people who have resources, to encounter those who do not have, and to experience the ways in which they are living and are struggling day to day. At the same time, we hope that the Mandela Day campaign inspires those who have to commit not only to doing helpful things on a particular day, but also committing to supporting that deep systemic change that we need to address the challenges that so many of our communities face.
And the Mandela Day walk and run is not just about community and just fitness. It's also an opportunity to raise funds for important causes. Can you please share some of the projects and initiatives that the funds raised through this event support?
Well, whatever is raised comes to the Nelson Mandela Foundation and supports work we're doing in areas like land reform. We're pushing hard to ensure equitable access to land. Uh, we do a lot of work in the early childhood development space. We do a lot of work to support um, heritage related to Madiba, including his personal archive. We're doing work globally as well on the African continent. We're reaching out to partners in other African countries. I don't have to elaborate on some of the challenges the continent is facing. And then, of course, globally, the 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 challenges that we see in Palestine and the genocide in Gaza. We're doing a lot of work there to build global solidarity.
Mm. That's very, very impressive. Now, what do you feel, Nelson? I mean, what do you feel would be Nelson Mandela's message to those who are seeking to carry on his legacy?
Yeah, it's again, it's difficult to articulate what one feels Madiba would say in this moment. But
Mm,
what he was saying to us in those last 10 years of his life, over and over again, is that um, hope is not enough. You need to believe that fighting this good fight matters, even if you lose. And so you do the right thing, irrespective of what the future will bring. And I think that's the core message of Mandela Day, is that
mm,
the challenges seem so overwhelming. And it's often tempting to want to give up, focus on other things, give up on social justice. But, I'm sure that message would be exactly the same in this moment, is that we don't give up. That long walk to freedom, it never ends. And so the work must continue. We keep fighting.
mm. That's very profound, and thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now, Madiba once said that what counts in life is not the more fact that we have lived it, but it is it's the difference we have made to the lives of others. In the spirit of that quote, how do you hope Mandela Day will inspire the individuals who make positive difference in their communities and creating a lasting legacy of their own?
Well, I think, what people will find who are supporting Mandela Day and are doing the work, supporting the campaign, uh, in caring deeply about community, in contributing to collective journeys, you will find as an individual that you will be enriched in your personal journey. And that will give you strength and a sense of purpose that will be valuable to you for the rest of your lives.
Mm. That is very, very powerful, and also this has been a very beautiful conversation that we just had with you, Professor. So thank you so much for giving us your time and just sharing insight on the importance of Mandela Day that's happening on the Friday, the 18th.
Great pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Viewers at home, that was Professor Harris, who is the executive consultant at the Nelson Mandela Foundation. And we were just highlighting the importance of Nelson Mandela Day, but as well as, the global reflection on Madiba's vision and also the legacy that he has left behind. But without wasting any time, let's go to a quick break. We'll see you right after this.